going on? You're listening to the Nighttime Show podcast live from San Diego Comic-Con. And wowee, do we have a hell of a guest coming up. My arch nemesis from Big Time Rush.
Yes.
Mr. Phil LaMarr is on the show. He played Hawk to my Gustavo, and at one point, I think we were both in superhero costumes fighting each other. He's a great guy. Not during Comic-Con.
But
that could happen, though, at Comic-Con.
More importantly, he's been known for shows such as Futurama, Mad TV.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he's in Pulp Fiction.
Getting shot in the face in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Now, The Lion King, The Mandalorian, all sorts of cool stuff. He is kicking so much ass. So let's
in everything now.
Tune in. You got to listen to the show. It's happening right now. Here we go.
Live from the Legion M Fan Lounge in San Diego Comic-Con, it's the Nighttime Show. With us today, our very special guest, legendary voice actor from Justice League, Samurai Jack, and Pulp Fiction, Phil LaMarr. We also have our head writer, Matt Walker, and the delightful Michael Glazer. I'm Mike Black, and now, the toastiest host that ever roasted a roast. Put your hands together, anyone out there in the world, for Stephen Kramer Glickman!
Yabba-dabba-doo! Welcome to Comic-Con, folks. We are here at the Legion M Fan Lounge. It is a beautiful location located inside the TCL Chinese Theater box here in San Diego.
Fans are fighting to get in.
Oh, people are lined up. It's so
Especially
crazy.
At 10 in the morning.
It is 10
Let me
o'clock
get to
in the
that
morning.
movie theater. Now.
And we got the one and only Phil LaMarr with us. Sir, how are you?
I'm great, Stephen.
And
I'm going to use a different voice
Every time I talk.
you know what voice you could use to start us out?
Should I use yours?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay.
We can just replace Steven.
Yeah, just do me.
I'm sorry, I can't take the pay cut.
Yeah. That's far too
Hurtful
true.
and true.
Far too true.
How do you manage to sound like you've eaten just as many grilled cheeses, Stephen?
And be lactose intolerant. Like, how does that work? How does it work?
Some of us made other choices.
Now, Phil, I just watched you.
In the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Dude, that's not okay.
It's the only way I can have an erection anymore. The point
Hashtag
is-
meat too.
Stephen came out of the bathroom and went, "Are they all like that?" Yes, they are, Stephen. I'm afraid so.
I just watched you in a little movie. It's a very small. I'd say
A little
an
indie?
It's like an indie movie. I don't even know if you'd call it an indie movie. It could be just a short film. Is it a student film? It's called The Lion King. You're in The Lion King currently, right now, in theaters. That's happening currently.
Right, in theaters yesterday.
Yeah. Can we talk about it? Who did you play for the audience? Who did you play in the movie?
Well, let's not blow this up. I have a very tiny part in a very huge movie.
Right, but you have dialogue and you have laughs. You get laughs in the movie.
I am an impala. The kind with hooves, not wheels.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have a great moment in the film where the impala is jumping around like he does, and he runs into Simba as an adult, and he goes, "Oh God, oh my God, I thought you were a real lion." Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. That when you say that, I thought you were a real lion. The entire El Capitan laughed at once, which was so great because I was like, "Oh, what a funny moment!" And then afterwards, we were like, "That was Phil LaMarr? Oh my God, of course it was."
Dude,
so that's so cool, man. That must have
Thank
been
you,
an
man.
incredible
Also,
thing.
a small part in a big movie is great for residuals.
Hell
Don't have to do
yes.
anything, just get checks forever.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in Spider-Man 2. I didn't even speak.
What?
You're in the
Still
subway?
getting a check.
That's awesome.
Where?
on
What?
the subway.
Yeah. There's a big fight scene with Spider-Man and Doc Ock. And,
Oh, with Joey Diaz.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually where I met Joey back years
that's
ago,
awesome.
18 years ago. And Spider-Man has to save this runaway train.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he collapses, and I'm one of the civilians on the train who grabs him and keeps him from falling and brings him inside.
What the hell? How
I
did
am an
that
extra
happen?
in Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
Why? Why were you an? How did that happen?
I auditioned for the movie.
Right.
And I auditioned for the part that Hal Sparks got, like the Rye guy in the elevator. Hey, what a nice costume.
Was that the actual title of the role? Rye,
Rye guy.
in the elevator?
I actually think it was just guy in elevator.
Yeah.
The Rye was Hal's spin on it.
Yeah.
Which is why he got it.
Right.
I just said guy in elevator. Hey, I'm in an elevator. Nice costume. I auditioned for that. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then a month or two later, they called and said, hey, Spider-Man called. They'd like you to do a part. I'm like, oh, is it the guy? It's like, no, it's not that part. I'm like, oh, what part is it? We can't tell you.
Everything's a secret.
All right. Can they send me the sides? No. They would literally tell me nothing about the part except when I was supposed to show up. Finally, I asked my agent, like, ask them if I will be working directly with Sam Raimi. They've got to at least be able to answer
Yes.
that to make sure I wasn't like second unit, like
Right.
Yeah.
in a swamp or something. And they said, no, you will be working with Sam. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm a comic book head from way back. Just to say I'm in a Spider-Man movie, hell yes.
Yeah, seriously.
And
yeah,
that's
and
one
that's
of the best scenes too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
that
love
fight
that
scene is well. The hilarious thing is, we were in like a train set, like an actual train thing, and there were like grips and stuff outside with great big boards rocking the train. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty low tech.
Oh my god.
And at one point, the guy who did the special effects on the movie was John Dykstra, who won the Oscar for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
and I'm seeing these guys rocking this train, and he goes by, and I'm like, oh, Mr. Dykstra, I guess this scene's a pretty light scene for you guys in special effects, huh? He's like, actually, no. We have to create all of Chicago moving at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I stop and I look up and I realize the entire soundstage
Green screen.
was a green screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm gonna shut up now.
Oh my god.
And the cool thing is that'll look great on your reel. People just see it flashing by. They're like, oh, he's in Spider-Man. He must have been a big part in that.
Yeah.
No, it looks great on your resume, bad on the reel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things on your reel where you don't talk, they don't look so good.
Yeah.
Acting is reacting. Look at these reactions.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like a 5-minute reel of just like looks.
Yeah.
I've seen those reels before.
Soap opera people, right?
Oh, people send. I've seen them when people send in stuff.
I've made
they'll go,
those reels.
Yeah, they'll go, how's this? And you're like, oh god, you don't say anything. It's just you. The other person says everything, and then you go, like that was it.
Or what's the soap opera thing? Like the what's that smell look? Where the pan comes in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get that zoom in slowly on their face. Yeah.
So how did you end up getting cast in Lion King? How did that end up working out? Because this movie has a great deal of controversy around it right now. Because people have been talking about it a lot because
Wow, the lion's black.
Because
Lions are black. The Panthers should be black, but not the lions. Sorry,
no, mostly because of it being. It was promoted as a live-action movie, and then it was.
They're like, it's
not
the live-action remake,
action.
and you're like, no, it's just the CGI remake.
Well, because to say the non-animated remake is too long.
But it's also it is animated. It's just computer animated.
Right. But actually, that's the weird thing is because all of the actors' performances are voice performances.
Yeah.
But it's not, strictly speaking, a cartoon.
So you weren't in a lion costume or an impala costume on stage.
No.
Was it done in motion?
lions to do all
Were
these
people in
scenes.
motion capture suits at all, or was it? Or was it
I
done
wasn't.
that way?
I imagine they could have been because, I mean, Jon Favreau had this incredible, VR, like compound. And at one point, he said, "Hey, do you want to come with me into the jungle?" I'm like, "What?" And we walk into the motion capture volume thing, and it's like mocap. It's like the whole thing where the cameras are everywhere.
Yeah.
But then you put on this VR headset, and once you put it on, you open your eyes, and you're in the set.
What?
In the Lion King jungle.
It's like the holodeck.
Yes, but it's a holodeck with cameras that can shoot everything. And you can either be standing there like you're in the jungle, or you press a button and you can be up above like you're flying or like you're a camera. I mean,
Holy crap!
the reason they are calling it something that it's not is because we don't have the words for what it is.
It's a new
Right.
technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
No, it's amazing.
What?
Man. Yeah.
So he was literally. That's what when I was watching the movie. One of the things that kept hitting me was like it looks like it's being shot on location,
right?
But maybe then they were adding the animals in later. That's okay. I just kept thinking like how on earth is he doing steady cam shots where he's running around, at the lion's like face level and making and like following it as it's like touching stuff, but. That makes sense. If he's in VR, he has full control over that whole area, and if he has a camera in there to be able to shoot it, that's insane.
But the reason they call it live action is because the CG VR. See, that's the thing. You say CG VR, all these things with with
acronyms,
letters,
whatever,
acronyms, and stuff. And your image you have in your head is like, oh, this is some video game bullshit. It's going to look like pixely, but what you see in the movie looks like real photography.
There's a moment in Lion King where there's an I think is what it's called, and this little monkey thing jumps up in the air and eats a butterfly, like grabs a butterfly and throws it in its mouth. And I thought it was footage from National Geographic. And I was with David Dirks, who's the vice president of Viacom production, and I said, that's got to be real footage, right? And he goes, it's got to be. So at the end, we were watching and looking for like shot on location in something or animal wranglers. We watched all the credits looking for animal wrangler, and not one time was there animal wrangler, and we were like, how the fuck was this done? Like, we were losing our minds trying to wrap around it. But then we kept seeing like unit production manager and focus puller and all the normal camera stuff. So this is like, you telling us this is kind of like the piece of the puzzle that like makes sense. And like,
and it's funny because I think they're saying live action as a shortcut because they don't want to try to explain all of this to people. And the thing is, like, any of the terminology that we already have, anything they say is going to put people on the wrong path. Like, oh, so it's like, no, it's not like that. But it's like, no. You know what? It's like a live action movie. Just shut up and watch it.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you say CG or whatever, then people start looking for cracks and, or
that
little
buffer wheel.
Yeah.
Just looking for the buffer wheel.
Just rotating.
Annoying on that big screen.
Right.
Are you allowed to talk about Favreau at all in other stuff that you're doing with him, or not really?
I'm actually not doing anything else with him. I did work with him on some development stuff for his new Star Wars show, The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Which, for a long time, couldn't talk about.
Yeah.
But
Mike's a big fan of this. That's
yeah.
why.
I had worked with John, years and years and years ago, back like before Swingers.
Wow. Wow. What? On what?
We just did like theater stuff together.
So you were pretty new then too, because that was maybe you'd done Pulp Fiction and
because I had
like
friends,
the big thing.
from Chicago would come out here to do theater, and he came out with them, and we just did like what was the show we did at the Coast Playhouse on Santa Monica Boulevard? We did Manson the Musical.
Wow, Charles Manson.
Which, if that Tarantino movie does well, that may have a resurgence.
Yeah,
maybe it's the adaptation of your musical. Like,
exactly. Maybe we'll do a live action version of it.
That would be cool.
I fully
go in and see Sharon Tate singing in the play. You're like, this is not what I expected at all.
Right?
I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I don't know what I'm talking about. Manson. What's a song from Manson? Is there a song?
Oh God, it was so long ago. I don't remember. Wait, when Charlie? Sorry,
It's just him
it's
going,
on the tip
I'm
of my.
Gonna get a tattoo. It's gonna be in my forehead. Tattoo. Everyone's like, I don't think you should do that. And he's like, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna put it in the middle. Everyone's like, please don't do that. It's a bad idea. You'll never get a job again.
I like that because when the theater goes black, you just hear the scream and the buzz of the tattoo. That's how you know the song is over.
That's how you know it's over.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Some of us made other choices.
Right, there you go. Well, hey, Tom Booker, if you're out there listening, because Tom Booker was one of the guys who ran Theater A Go-Go, which was an offshoot of the theater in Chicago where the real life Brady Bunch started.
Oh, The Annoyance.
The Annoyance Theater, yeah. So all these really disturbing shows came out of there. The Miss Vagina pageant, Manson the musical.
Awesome.
Puppetry of the Penis, was that from there?
No, that was
you
the
would think
Australians.
it would be. Yeah.
I think even in Chicago back then you couldn't take out your dick.
They're like, no.
Hello, my name's Dennis Heine, and I'm here to talk to you about something that everyone struggles with, getting a good night's sleep. Are you one of the millions of people that wrestle your pillow into the right position every night?
My head isn't rectangular, so why should my pillow be?
Exactly, which is why we've taken the next obvious step in pillow evolution.
Ooh, I'm listening.
It's the buttress pillow, the pillow shaped like a butt.
Hang on, is this a real product?
You bet your sweet butt it is. The ergonomic design gently cradles your head and supports the neck.
Hey, what are we talking about? Buttress pillows? Now that is something I can get into.
I gave one to my grandson and I haven't seen him in weeks. Thanks, buttress pillow.
Finally.
So what are you waiting for? Go to thebuttress.pillow.com right now. It's your butt for the squeezing. Come get that butt.
The buttress pillow, pillow that's a butt.
Now, at some point in time, you get shot in the face in the back seat of a car.
Yes, that point in time was 1993.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after doing Pulp Fiction and that happening, you're walking around. Do people recognize you as the guy that got shot?
Marvin. His name was Marvin, Stephen.
What's the conversation like on the street after doing Pulp Fiction? Because you know how like people recognize you for different things,
Right.
Is that weird? Does it get weird? Is
I mean,
that the part that the people are like,
back then, there wasn't really much of like, it was pre-internet. People didn't like know everything about everything.
Sure.
Yeah, well, the
they
internet
watched the
was
movie.
there. It was pre-web, but
Right.
I was on the internet at that time because I was on.
CompuServe.
Well, it was through. I was at Carnegie Mellon, so we had a little more tech than other places. But we would be on the Usenet message boards, and there'd be like alt.movies.
Right.
Is where we would go, and I remember Pulp Fiction would come up on there, and people talk about it on there. But it was like then
Coming
there's
up
like,
with their
but
theories,
there's like,
right?
There's like 15 people,
Right.
Not 15 million people talking about Pulp Fiction like on Reddit now or something.
Yeah.
Where there's
Right.
like hundreds of thousands talking about whatever it'll be.
I mean,
Yeah.
what I find now, and I bet you it's going to happen like pretty soon. Every time a new Tarantino movie comes out, they flood the cable channels
with all the old ones.
with
yeah.
yes, they rerun Pulp Fiction, and I'll have somebody I've known for 20 years go, "Oh my God,
You're in Pulp Fiction.
I didn't realize that was you."
holy crap.
Yeah. Because when they first saw the movie, we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so here's something I'd love to chat with all of us about, because this is Mike has been coming to Comic-Con for how long? How long have you been coming to?
This will be my 19th year.
Wow.
19th year.
Yeah.
Mike Glazer, how many times have you been to Comic-Con?
This is my first.
This is his first. Other
Gross.
side of the spectrum.
Right.
What about you? How many times have you been to the Comic-Con? Do you have
Oh,
an idea?
geez. Over 10.
Yeah.
I stopped counting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Matt Walker, what about you?
This is my third time.
Third time. And I'm
okay.
I'm about seven or eight in, I
Okay.
believe, at this point. What is it about it that you love? Like, when you come to this, what do you go off to try to find? Is there stuff that you look for, stuff that you love?
Well, I'm an old comic book head, so the thing I love is the remnants of old Comic-Con, which are getting harder and harder to find every year.
Yeah.
Basically, for me, it's the classic comic book creators, which fortunately, like I was a presenter at the Eisner Awards, which is basically the Oscars of comic books last night, and it was amazing because you got to see people, some of the people who are making like amazing stuff now, but then also some of the classic like artist named Bill Sienkiewicz, who created the look of the New Mutants back in the 90s, Elektra Assassin. Like, he basically blew the top off of, like, the design potential for comic books and opened it up. And he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, last night.
Oh, my God.
But it's weird because there are fewer and fewer of, the old classic guys.
Well, you see weird things like I remember being at the Mattel booth and they had all these. They were showing off all of their Justice League figures this year.
Right.
This was like 2 or 3 years ago. And this kindly old man goes, where will the Blue Devil figure be available? And they were like, oh, we don't know. They ship randomly, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's one of the rarer ones, and they're trying to explain to him, like, limited collectible toys and stuff.
Right.
And he goes, and I can't buy one here? And they go, no. Do you like that character? And he was like, I created him. It was like, oh.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Right. Poor guy.
Somebody should have shipped him like a case of them.
Exactly. You know.
What?
Yeah, we go to Walter Koenig's house. He's got a wall of Chekhovs.
Yeah.
Every Chekhov ever made, he's
Right.
got, and he should have.
But see,
Yeah.
that's an industry mentality.
Yeah.
Like TV is all about keeping talent happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic books are all about keeping talent in cages.
Exactly.
You know,
Working.
Everything is work for hire. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's basically like if you were an actor and they took what you were doing. Actually, we're about three years away from this, where
Yeah.
they just scan you and throw you in a box and then just make what they want out of your work.
Yeah, you just
Right.
worked on a movie where
Yeah.
they were creating that technology.
Just to put us,
Oh,
to put us
no!
all out of business.
You just helped do that.
Right?
We interviewed Neil Adams on the podcast.
Yeah.
No way.
And totally worth listening to that episode because at some point in it we said, hey, what was it like? You know, he drew Batman for so long,
yeah.
you know? So we were like, hey, what was it like working with Bob Kane? You know, did
No,
ever
you
work with-
didn't.
Yeah, we were like, what was it like? Did you ever work with Bob Kane? And he goes, I'll tell you something about Bob Kane. He would come into the office and he'd go, hey, that's not how you draw Batman. And I would say, fuck you, asshole. You don't even work here anymore. I do what I want. Suck it, Bob. And then we were like, what about Jack Kirby? And he shit all
He's
over
like,
Jack.
that asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck Jack Kirby.
The only one he was nice about was Stan. Everyone else, he just, I mean, literally everyone else we mentioned, he tore him apart. And then what I thought was so funny is, you know, in the artist alley, people walk up to these, comic book artists. They go, hey, will you draw like a custom sketch for me, you know?
Right.
And a lot of them will say, hey, can you draw a custom sketch for me of Deadpool, you know, having sex with a unicorn's horn, you know, or some fucked up shit.
Right.
And all of them say, all of them will go, we don't do that. But you know who does? Neil Adams. even though he doesn't do that, they'll just send it to him out of being out of how rough
that's
Neil
so
Adams
funny.
is.
Well, you know, it's
I
interesting.
liked him.
It's
He was a
interesting.
great
I do too.
time.
Yeah, he was
I
great.
love Neil.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I've over the years coming to Comic-Con, I've gotten to meet some of the, the people that I grew up reading and worshiping, and become friends with people like Neil, a guy named Howard Chaykin, and it's funny. Weirdly, a handful of the guys that I've become friends with, I find out maybe aren't friends with some of the other people. Just
no.
Yeah, if you have a party, you got to pick and choose which ones you bring.
Well, no, it's what happens is you're at a con or something,
Yeah.
and hey, you want to meet for breakfast? Sure, you meet for breakfast. And as you walk in, you see all of the other comic book artists eyeballing you, like, is there going to be a fight? No, they can't fight. They all need their hands.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It does. It reminds me of that Simpsons where Bart sees the Mad Magazine building,
Right?
And he's imagining that it's like Spy versus Spy. Right. Alfred E. Newman. All this fun is going on in there, and then they show the actual building, and it's
Like
Bill
some
Gaines and a
sweatshop,
bunch
right?
of old fat guys just sitting there slaving away on their drawings. You know.
Hey Matt, let me ask you something. This time of year, it's starting to get a little cold. It's heading into the winter months. How do you feel about the winter months?
I'm not a fan. I'm cold. I'm cold in July, let
Really?
alone in October.
You know, then I've got something that you're going to absolutely love. Yo Shirt, the company that has brought you these like really, really cool shirts and socks and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
they've got that app. You can upload your own images and get stuff
your
printed.
image and get it printed right there, and you can do one-offs. They're so cool. They make so much cool stuff. But they invested in this technology that has created Sherpa blankets that are just extra plush. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they feel so nice to the touch. You have one. I got one for you.
Yeah.
Of
It's
your
really
face.
soft.
It's your face.
It is my face. I'm not a blanket on my bed, which is weird, but it's very soft.
You know what? Just as a quick side note, at LA Comic-Con, we had a couple of these made, one for each of us with our artwork of our faces on it. And I gave one to Mike Black, who has been on our show. He's our announcer on the show. And Mike Black was so tired at LA Comic-Con after working so hard for 3 straight days on this thing. we found him fast asleep in a chair with his blanket of his face wrapped around him. And I have never seen a cuter 40-year-old man in my life. Go to Yo Shirt on your phone. Go to the Google Play Store. Get it there. Go to it on the iPhone. You can get it there, or on an iPad. Upload it. Just
Android
play
as well?
with it. Android, everywhere. It's available everywhere. And just go and experiment and play with this thing. But I'm telling you right now, these Sherpa blankets are absolutely incredible. You should get one. They're gorgeous. They're going to keep you warm, Matt. They're going to keep you warm.
What if they want one of your face?
If you want one of my face, you can grab the artwork from my Instagram and drop it right onto it. And I'll tell you what, you'll end up with get to sleep with my big old giant hairy face. So if that's what you want out of your life, I mean, congratulations to you. You're making good choices. That's all I can say. So go to YoShirt.com. Check it out. YoShirt on all the app stores. YoShirt.com. What is your favorite San Diego Comic-Con memory? Do you have like a favorite or something amazing?
One of the first times I went to the Eisners, there was
Mike Glazer's going, this moment right now.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this, and you tell me if this compares.
Okay.
I go to the Eisners. I think I get to present an award or something, and before the awards, there's like a very nicely dressed older man, with a great head of hair and everything, and it's like, oh, Jerry, I want you to meet Phil LaMarr. Phil, this is Jerry Robinson, and I'm just like, wow. Jerry Robinson was working for DC Comics or whatever their precursor was when he was like 17.
Yeah.
They put him onto the Batman books to help out. He's the guy who created the character of the Joker.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So Mike Glazer now
this is good.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Mike Glazer is a Joker.
Oh, that's
so it's almost the same.
So,
wow. That's like, are moments like that part of the reason you got into show business in the first place? Just to like meet potential heroes or however you feel about these people?
No. Actually, really no. I mean, that's just like a byproduct. I never thought about like fame. I auditioned for my first play because the play was based on a book that I loved, and there was like a character in the end of the book that I really wanted to play.
What was the play?
It was a Phantom Toll Booth.
Oh, love that book.
Yeah, my junior high was doing
Which
a
one do you want to
production
play?
There's a character at the very end. Like these kids are on an adventure, and they're going through the mountains of ignorance. And at the very end, the last hurdle they have to get past to save the princesses is this character called the Census Taker.
Yes.
Who takes your sense of duty, your sense of purpose, everything.
Yeah.
The one thing he can't take is your sense of humor, and that's how they get past it.
Yeah. That book, I was just thinking of this the other day.
Really?
That book is how I learned the meaning of the word din, D-I-N.
Yes!
Because, I remember they talk about it in the book, and I was like, what the hell does din? What is this they're talking about? I went to the dictionary, looked it up, and I'm like, oh, a lot of noise. Okay, and that's where I learned that one word.
And you've been the king of crosswords ever since, haven't you?
I do them all the time. And, I use the word din in a sentence, and I had a flashback to that moment of learning what the word meant in the Phantom Toll Booth and Milo and the whole deal. So
And Steven challenged you on it.
It could be,
I lost. And yeah. And his ego got bigger. Right. Just what happened.
Steven threw the board across the room. See if you can find it in the din.
Bullshit. I love it. That's so amazing. What's coming up for you in your life right now? I know you have Goblins. That's your project.
Yeah, that's the thing that's taking up the bulk of my time right now. I mean, I'm working on a show for a Cartoon Network called Craig of the Creek, doing voices, and a new show on the Jellies for Adult Swim. But Goblins is an animated project based on a webcomic that a friend of mine has been doing, and it's amazing. It's a D&D story, but the goblins are like the little creatures, that a first level, fighter can kick their ass and get enough, hit points to go into the dungeon.
Right.
But
the beginner thugs in a video game.
Exactly. But the story here is like a group of goblins, get tired of having their asses handed to them. They're like, well, why don't we become an adventuring party so that we can go up in levels and protect our village?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Now, when you were on our show last
cool.
time, you were doing the Kickstarter for that, I remember. So obviously
Yes.
that worked well. And
We made the money. We've
And
been
your
through some ups and downs.
Your cast is
Oh, yeah.
insane. Who's tell these folks who's in the cast.
We've got Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, Steve Bloom, Jennifer Hale, Matthew Mercer from Critical Role, Jim Cummings.
it's a murderer's row right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we wrote the script, and my friend, my partner Matt King and I are both actors. So we acted out the script. We knew what it would sound like. But then you got these guys into the recording booth.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, that is everything they did is so much better. Not only than what I did, but than what I could have imagined.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
That's always so wonderful.
Now,
when they
you
bring
mentioned
it up.
Maurice LaMarche, and he was recently on our show, and now there have been rumors, and I didn't get a chance to ask him about
That
this.
Maurice and I are the same person?
No.
Just
There are
with
rumors that Futurama might be making some sort of a comeback. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
What I can tell you about that, Matt, is
Because
if
you
you're,
were
if
on
you're
the-
putting together a show, the last piece is the actors.
Okay.
So for you to ask me about whether Futurama is coming back is like asking your car dealer about the new technology and the Tesla. He don't know. He don't know till they ship it to him. And they give him a damn brochure.
You know what's so funny? I was talking to someone last night that one of the Imagineers that did Star Wars Land, and said almost the same thing. Where I said to him, the one thing I think it's missing is creatures walking around, like aliens walking around Star Wars Land. It's very much people, a lot of people. And he said they didn't want to overload the budget with actors because that's the first thing that gets cut. so he was like, instead we kept it really light and we have all of them and all the aliens ready, so that when sales kind of fall off a little bit, we can
They need a boost.
Well, now we got aliens, and throw aliens in, or now we've got this, now we've got that.
That's pretty smart.
Which is pretty smart. But I was kind of like, yeah, okay, but
So you're saying wait 2 years before you go to Star Wars Land?
yes,
When the aliens show up?
For all you star fuzzies out there, it's like, I don't want to see the people. I want to see like the creatures.
I want creatures.
Is that a thing? Are there star
fuzzies?
furries?
Oh, there have to be.
I'm sure there are.
There have to be. I mean, there's a whole video game thing called Star Fox, and I guarantee there's a whole Rule 34 about that
Oh my
going
God,
on.
yeah.
I guarantee.
Well, but those are actual furries.
Yeah.
They're just flying, space jets.
But I guarantee
Come to
there-
a meeting on Monday. You'll love it. It'll be great.
he doesn't like you.
Mike
You're the
Glazer's
vi-
space furries.
Mike Glazer's. It's so funny.
Right.
That would be.
He's the VP.
Yeah, he really puts that stuff in charge.
It's a weird card, but
So fantastic. Hey, Matt, before we continue chatting with this wonderful guest, we really do have a extraordinary, very fun segment that we got to do right now.
What's the segment?
Well, I'll tell you, buddy boy. The segment is called Inexpensive Holiday Gifts.
Oh, cool. Is there a jingle for the segment?
There is. You want to hear it?
Yeah, of course I
All
want
right,
to
here we go. Inexpensive holiday gifts. Inexpensive holiday gifts. Inexpensive holiday gifts. You can buy them because they're inexpensive.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
really good, actually.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I didn't think it was going to be that good.
All right, here's the segment. Matt, what is an inexpensive holiday gift? What is a good inexpensive holiday gift, buddy?
Pack of gum.
Pack of gum. That is correct. That is an inexpensive holiday gift. Have you ever gotten somebody a pack of gum, Matt?
I bought an ex-girlfriend a pack of gum. Well, a whole bunch of packs of gum for Christmas.
And that's why she's an ex-girlfriend. Here's another fun inexpensive holiday gift is a pair of socks. You ever get a pair of socks for Christmas?
Socks and underwear like every year for Christmas.
Every time I get socks for Christmas, I throw them in the trash. because that's a terrible gift. You know, it is a great, inexpensive holiday gift this year, and this is the first time I've ever seen one of these. It absolutely blew my mind. Anyone can afford this, and they can get it for someone that they love, and it will blow their mind in half. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about from Bliss Lights, the brand new Starport.
I'm in based on the name alone.
Right?
That sounds. Who doesn't want a Starport? I'll buy anything called a Starport.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you're thinking, what's a Starport?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. So Bliss Lights makes these laser light show lights where you like plug it in and then it lights up your whole house and turns your house into like basically what a theme park looks like.
They have ones for like inside and ones for outside. They got a thing that goes on a Christmas tree. They had all kinds of stuff. It's really cool.
Bliss Lights is responsible for designing the laser light shows for like every single theme park in the world.
Yeah.
These guys make it for the biggest of the biggest guys. And they also make them for your home, which is so cool. But
and now they make the Starport, which is for the space station?
Well, no. So here's what a Starport is. It is literally a laser light show that plugs into your USB. So you can have it anywhere. You don't need to plug it into the wall. You plug it into a USB, and it will literally throw all these laser lights all over your room. It's so cool. That
you can plug it in like a computer or even if I have one of those like little portable power banks with USB on it, I can plug it into that.
You know what? I did it. I have a portable power bank and I used it, and it is so neat. It looks like what you would even. It's cooler than a lightsaber, and that's saying a lot from me. All right, and they come in red, green, and blue, and you can walk around with it and just throw a laser light show anywhere you want to throw one. You can have one in the bathroom, in your bedroom, out while you're taking your dog for a walk. You can have one in the car when you're driving people around. I mean,
you probably shouldn't do it inside the car while you're driving. That's why
your
driving record is what it is, Steve.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You should absolutely go check it out. Use the code NIGHTTIME, and that'll get you a discount on there, which is really cool. It's a great promo. So use promo code NIGHTTIME for a discount, and check it all out right now at blisslights.com. We're talking about blisslights.com. It's blisslights.com, and look up that Starport.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, here we go. Let's get back to the show. Phil, it's such an honor to have you come by and come chat with us. And I know you have more panels and more things that you got to go hit today.
Cool. Yeah.
Where can the people find you in the social and in the world? Can they come? What's your address at your home so they can come to your house and make love to you?
See, now, I wish I'd known you were going to say that, because then I would have just memorized your address.
Oh, no.
And sent my crazy-ass fans to your house.
2700.
No! Stop it! Matt, you're the worst.
Actually, I mean, guys like us, we don't have crazy fans.
No.
We just have guys who look like us, but slightly less.
Yeah, that's about it.
Now, in your case, slightly more in terms of size.
Oh, wow.
More size.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
but I have friends who, female friends who are even just like tiny famous. It's like, wow, that many freaks?
Yeah.
Well, that's dudes.
Right?
It's a whole other thing.
It's like, my gosh, she has over 100 followers. Let me ask about her feet.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it gets very creepy. We have a few. We had Liz Katz on our show, and she gets hit up by some
weird stuff.
But
I'll tell you this: the line to meet her at our booth at Los Angeles Comic Con was like wrapping around the convention center practically. It was like
people were losing their minds to get to her.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And we just had Liana Vamp on the show. And
I love Liana.
Same kind of thing where people are like obsessive about her.
Right.
But they're very
and they're so
cool.
sweet.
They're so
nicest
cool.
people
They're
you'll
so
meet.
nice to everybody. Yeah. No,
God bless. Well, I'm not nice, but if you want to find me, you can find me at Phil LaMarr. That's PhilLamarr.
2 L's in the middle, 2 R's on the end.
That's on Twitter and Instagram.
We should get you some kind of P.O. box so that fans, if they have comics that you're a fan of, or if they have toys that you're a fan of, they can just send them to you in the mail. I think that's a thing that people are doing.
Yeah, send those to
Hey.
2700.
Hey, is that no? Stop it!
Anthrax.
Oh God. Yeah, don't do that.
Is that not a thing anymore? We're not worried about that
There
anymore.
was like a ricin scare like a month
Right?
ago I saw on the news. So I don't know.
Yeah, what's a funny new disease to say?
What's a funny new terrorist tactic?
Fried ricin.
There you go.
Very dangerous and delicious. Mike Black, where can people find you on these socials?
I am at Mike Black Attack on all social media.
Yes, and if you want good toy pics, that's
where
guy.
Mike Black Attack goes.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
he's making them pics. What about the sexiest of pics? Glazer, what about you? Where can people find you?
Sure. Well, if you love Dunkin' Donuts, I'm the star of their new campaign this summer. So find a Dunkin' Donuts, go buy something, take a picture of it, and then send it to me at GlazerBooHooHoo on Instagram so I can share it and also say thank you to you.
I love
Why
that,
don't you
dude.
have a Glazer donuts thing or something like that?
Man,
Hey,
okay.
'cause you know what?
We need to make you something.
Dunkin' Donuts ain't gonna be his only thing. He needs a widespread brand.
We don't know that. What if it is his only thing?
There you go. Aim low, Mike. Aim low.
He could be the next
the only job I ever have. I'm gonna get it tattooed on my face.
My hopes are that he becomes the Verizon guy of Dunkin' Donuts, where eventually he switches over to Winchell's and betrays them.
I used to be with Dunkin' Donuts, but now I have real taste.
Fuck those guys.
And I don't wear pink anymore.
Yeah, oh,
Krispy Kreme, bitches. Krispy Kreme.
Now you're making me hungry.
Matt, where can people find you?
You can find links to everything at funnymatt.com, or if you're upset by anything I said, let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
Absolutely. Oh, and people do tell him that he
Speak
sucks.
of the devil.
And we should throw this out there. Chef Valerie did
amazing.
these beautiful macaroons.
Macaroons or coconut cookies.
Of
These are macarons.
of our logo, our
French
pink
cookies.
donut logo. So those are for
Oh,
you.
that's so
You can
funny.
take those with you.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to follow the Nighttime Show on the Instagram and subscribe to the show everywhere that podcasts are available. And check out Legion M for all the coolest films that are coming up. They make the world's finest fan-owned films. And Mandy. They have the new Jay and Silent Bob reboot and all sorts of cool stuff coming out. So, anyways, thanks for listening to the show. We love you, and thanks, Phil. You're the freaking coolest.
Thanks for having me, Stephen.
That guy is so damn cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's way cooler than any of us.
Yeah, he's way cooler. His career is obscene.
Also, when we were recording the interview, I was sitting there in a uniform from the Orville.
Oh, my God. You looked great. That was a great costume.
Thank you.
How did you end up with that costume?
It's a whole thing. I traded a computer for it. We'll tell that story another time.
Yeah, just as nerdy as I was hoping.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast and keep on listening, guys. More episodes coming up from San Diego Comic-Con.